I'm Dipti Pant. I'm Executive Director of IMS Design and Innovation Academy. IMS also has Design and Innovation Academy, which has School of Communication and School of Design under it. Academically, I'm an alumni of National Institute of Design and Film and Television Institute, Pune. I've been in education for last 20 years. I was with Mudra Foundation when Micah was just starting. Then I was with Velenka, and then I was SCMS Cochin, and then I came to industry, worked as an innovation consultant and a brand storyteller for companies like GSK, P&G, Samsung, LG, not many companies. It was a long 15, 18 years old career. And then I came back to education some 4 years back. I am with IMS DIA for last 6 months, taking care of the School of Design and School of Communication. Fundamentally, where I come from, I believe that there is more to education than this classroom experiences. In design schools, in film schools, in storytelling schools, the education actually starts outside the classroom. What you are doing with your subject, with your content. And that is what I intend to bring to the classroom whenever I go as an educator and now as an executive position. Now, why I'm telling you this is not just related to where I'm working, but also, if you look, I was just reading the data on the phone, that HCL is starting to educate its 12th class students because they find Indian engineering student redundant. Why is that happening? Because the educators are not looking at giving experiences and analytical skills to the students. In the information age of today, the position of educator has changed. He is no longer an information giver. He is a facilitator for analysis and experiences, intellectual experiences and analysis. And that is where the fundamentals of design education come in. Because right from the beginning, design education has been giving an experience to the student. Because you cannot make, if you are a creative educator, you cannot make a student an equally creative person. You only teach him how to use his creativity to create new things. So a design educator has always been a facilitator of creativity, of analysis, of creating new things. And that is, I think, what an educator needs to be. So what I'm trying to do is not only bring design education practices only in design and communication school, but also take it outside design and education communication schools. And that is why I also am a visiting faculty to institutes like IIT Bombay, IIT Delhi, IIM Indore, IIM Calicut, because there are professors who want to bring that kind of experiences and learning to the classroom. As a mother, both my children are homeschooled, because I found the very rote learning way of teaching children quite daunting for my creative kids, because my husband is also director at NIFT and I'm also a creative person. My children are born creative, and they found the entire rote learning very structured way of teaching. They were struggling with it. And when I decided that, let me tell you, not just the world around me, but my own parents and in-laws came on me, कि बच्चे को बिगाड़ रही है, उनकी ज़िंदगी खराब कर रही हो क्या? Because I was homeschooling them. And now my son is a footballer in Spain, and my daughter is studying design at MIT. And she, in the existing education system of India, she got 98% in her 12th standard, despite the fact she was homeschooled. So for me to make her give a typical CBSE exam was actually to tell the world that there is nothing wrong in giving experiential and differential education, imparting knowledge that way to the children. And when I had walked in, he was saying something very interesting. For me, that entire process has actually less been of an educator and more of as a learner. Because every time I ran with my son or I discussed with my daughter, I actually learned from them. And now we have such a fantastic relationship between me and my children of sharing. They keep telling me, half the time my smartphones are managed by them. My laptops they tell me how to manage it, how to I recently bought OnePlus and I had absolutely no idea how to operate it. Then my son, who was back home for his, my son is homeschooled, so he's giving his 10th boards in iOS. So he's here in India nowadays. So he told me how to operate that with finger and all that kind of a thing. So why I'm saying is that somebody was also talking about leadership. The leadership that is for tomorrow is a creative leadership. A leadership which is empathetic, which is what design process is all about. A leadership which is creative. A leadership which is looking solutions which are holistic. And that is what a design process is all about. And that is what exactly we have to bring into every element of education. whether it is science, maths, geography. And that is exactly what we are not doing. We are still trying to teach our children the way we were taught. That was also not wrong, but that was suited for its own time. Point is that we are not moving ahead with our children's growth. We keep talking about consumer, but are we looking at our children as consumer for knowledge takers? No. Like the way your strategies, business strategies change because the consumer is changing. Why is not the design why not design? Why are not the education practices changing with the changing consumer? Why are we not evolving our practices? Why are we not innovating our practices with respect to changing consumer? And that is what I talk about at all the platforms, and that is what I intend to bring that is why I joined back education from corporate. Because I was an innovation consultant, I was doing pretty well. So that is exactly what I want to bring in, is to be aware of the needs of the consumer, who's our students, your children, my children. They want to be taught differently because they have a future which is very different from ours. Right? Thank you so much.